Immediately following Jesus' baptism, he went away into the desert for a time of intense reflection and temptation by the devil. Jesus was God in the flesh, but he was still obedient to the Father, and the Spirit of God led him out into the desert. Well, during this long period of fasting, Jesus must have been quite tired, must have been near the end of his strength and his endurance, physically weakened and emotionally drained and quite susceptible to temptation. And it's in this state that Satan comes to Jesus. The word Satan comes from a Hebrew word that means adversary or accuser. He is an adversary and enemy of all of us. Friends, Satan is not imaginary. He is not just some evil force. He is real and is a real force of evil in the world. Satan stands opposed to God and anything in our world that is good. His ultimate goal is to alienate people from God and lead them away into evil, ultimately causing them to lose their soul. As a fully human individual, Jesus was susceptible to Satan just like we are. And sometimes we think that this was the only time that Jesus was tempted, that he defeated Satan, and that was the end of it. But friends, Satan does not work that way. Satan doesn't give up that easy. And just like us, Jesus would have met Satan in battles every day of his life. In fact, Luke tells us that Satan left him, but he would have been back because Satan never gives up. He's always on task, always busy, and always seeking ways to keep us under his power. Peter described Satan, or the devil, as a roaring lion looking for someone to devour, 1 Peter 5 and verse 8. Satan was present in the Garden of Eden. He was the cause of Job's suffering. And the Gospels record for us how Satan tempted Jesus at one of his weakest points. He kept coming at Jesus with the statement, "If you are the Son of God." Satan used this expression twice to tempt Jesus. We see this in verses 3 and 9. And both of these were basically dares, challenging Jesus. If you are the Son of God, then turn these stones into bread. If you are the Son of God, then jump off of the temple and prove it. These temptations were directed at pride and self-image. Children often use the same approach to goad others into doing something that they know they should not be doing. Both of these temptations questioned Jesus' identity and were intended to lead Jesus to show off his power and prove that he was the Son of God. But then we come to the third temptation, and this was a temptation of a different kind. It was an appeal to vanity. Satan showed Jesus the world and said, "Jesus, this can all be yours. All you have to do is bow down and worship me, and I will give you the world." Friends, it couldn't have been any easier. No struggling, no suffering, no cross. Just bow down and worship me. That was all that Satan asked. It wasn't much and would have been so much easier. But each time, Jesus withstood the temptation, and he answered Satan from the Scriptures. Yes, it would have been so much simpler for Jesus to give in, to rationalize his actions and take the easy way out. Instead, he followed God rather than Satan, and in doing so, he set an example for each of us to follow as we too are confronted by the adversary. Friends, we want to thank you for joining us for our program today, and we pray that God blesses you with a wonderful day.